everyone, my name is Sandhya Shevre and I am an artist by passion and profession. A very warm welcome to my channel. So in this video I will tell you about different materials, brushes, papers and few techniques of watercolor. So let us get started. So as you can see here we have watercolors in tube. As you can see here, if you want to paint larger area, then tube colors are very good. And then we have cakes or pans in tin. So I have this Sennelier brand which I always use for my paintings, and you can buy any other brand as well. These comes with the many shades. I have 8 shades only here. So when you want to paint a larger area, you use tube colors, and if you want to go outdoors and don't want to carry a lot of paints with you, or if you are just going for some quick sketches outdoors, then these paints, cakes or pans are very good. Then we have this mechanical pencil to do some sketching, because we don't want many lines, pencil lines. So this mechanical pencil is very good. Now these are different brushes which I use for my watercolor paintings, and I keep them separate. I don't use them for any other medium like acrylics or anything else. So this is Winsor & Newton Cotman brush, fine brush number 1, and this is for the fine work I do. And this one is Cameline brand. This is again a very good brush and synthetic brush. Then this one is again a thick brush. Cameline is the brand which I usually use in my watercolor paintings. Thick brush is for if you want to paint a larger area, then you need thick brushes. This is Da Vinci number 4, which again a very good international brand I use. This one is Cotman, Winsor & Newton. So all these brands are very good, and the quality of work which I get with these brushes are excellent. Then comes 2 pots of water, 2 containers. So one to wash your brushes and another one to add clean water. And then we have this towel napkin to wipe the brushes. So these are the basic art material which I use for watercolor painting. So let us talk about different types of papers for watercolor. Here I have this A3 size 150 GSM paper which has 50 sheets, acid free, and has natural medium surface, neutral shade. So I use this paper for light washes because the quality is a bit thin. The surface is very smooth, and for the kind of technique I use, it is ideal for that. So that's why I use this paper. The smooth surface, if you are going to do some fine work with watercolors, then this surface is very good for that. But this is less absorbent, so you can't do wet on wet or that heavy water technique on this. Then I have this brand for watercolor. This is cold press, cotton content is there, watercolor studio by the brand name Fabriano. It has 12 sheets, 300 GSM is the weight of the paper, and it is acid free. So this is again a very good brand and quality. of paper which I use. The thickness of paper is very good for wet on wet technique, which I will show you later on. And as you can see, the thickness, it's very good for all the heavy watercolor painting technique. So you can, this is a bit expensive, but if you want to make some good artwork, so you can always use this. This has a nice semi smooth texture. It's not very smooth, so the texture can be seen through the paints. Now then there is another brand called Brastro. So this is again artist watercolor pad, which is 25% cotton. So this is again very good for it is acid free. It is acid free and paper made in Italy. It is 200 GSM and it is cold press surface for mastering wet on wet techniques, as you can read here. So ideal for watercolor, gouache, acrylic, ink and mixed media, but so acid and chlorine free, for the color of the paper will not darken over the time. So this is again a very good brand which I use for my watercolor paintings. Then this is a sketchbook by Fabriano, which is actually not for watercolor, but I use it is for light washes. You can use this brand as well, and it's a sketchbook, so you can always carry it with you if you're going outdoors. I have tried few techniques here on this also, but as you can see, it is got buckled up, so not ideal for heavy watercolor technique, wet on wet or heavy watercolor technique. It's okay for practice, but not for painting. So I've tried here something, but you need to stretch the surface. So light washes are okay, and dry on dry technique is okay for this particular sketchbook. So that's all about the papers I talked, and let us start some painting. So here I will show you how to start with the first layer, or how to start watercoloring. So I have taken color in a palette and I have added water into it, so like the consistency is very thin, more transparent color. As you can see, I am not moving the brush so hard on the surface. I am just spreading the puddle of the water, and this is how you have to work. So here you can see that the color is very transparent and very watery, and while using this technique, this is wet on dry technique which I am showing you here. So here I have taken the very thin color, more water, very watery, and I am just spreading it in the shape, which whatever shape I want to make. So here I have taken a leaf, shape of a leaf, and so the color is very watery, and it is going to be my first layer. I am not pushing the brush very hard on the surface, because otherwise the paper may come out, and so we don't want that. So my second technique is wet on wet, and before going for this technique, I have washed my brush properly, and I am using clean water because I don't want color. So, or maybe that depends on what type of painting you are doing. So here I just want plain water, and on top of it, on that puddle of water, I am putting drop of colors with my brush. So you can see that the texture which is coming out when the color is spreading on that water, so that makes a nice texture. The color itself makes nice texture. As you can see, I have added green, and then red is also there. And when this color will dry, it will create a nice mysterious texture. You can use more different colors of your choice. I have taken only bit red, yellow and green, and depending on what drawing you are making, you can choose your own color scheme. Now here again I am making dry on dry. So this is another technique where I have given a shape of a leaf. You can see here again I have taken very transparent color. So once these three will dry, we will do some other layering on top of them. So we need to give drying time, and this paper is which I have used is 150 GSM, so a thin paper. Now I will add second layer on top of it. So I'm using a bit more darker shades or more thick shades. The consistency is a bit thicker than the first layer. So before you actually put on the second layer, you always check the shade, exact shade which you want. So try it on a piece of paper, separate paper, because I am just showing it. So I am using the same paper, but you can always keep a separate rough paper where you can check on your shades. So after mixing different shades, you can create your own particular shade which you want to apply. So here I am going for a more warmer green, so I have added some yellow to it, and so once your shade is being decided, then you can apply it on top of the first layer. So there are different techniques where you can make your own illustrations. I will take this thinner brush. I'll show you in more close-up that with thin brush I will just make a thin line in the middle because it's a leaf. So I just don't want to give more details in this first technique. So a little bit of middle vein and two veins sideways. So the brush strokes are from thick to thin. As you can see, the second wet on wet technique, where I have used 2-3 different shades on my water puddle, and then they have created some natural texture has been created. So on top of it again, because it's a shape of a leaf, so I'll give the central vein, and again some thin lines, thin veins sideways, both the sides. So this technique you can use when you are making illustrations. So the color choice will be yours, thin and thick lines, whatever you want to create, you can use that. You want to do the outline, you can do it with that also. Then comes the third technique, where it is also called negative coloring. So there the base is available with us, and I am leaving some space in between and making the between parts. So this is again another technique which you can use in your paintings. So be very patient when you are doing this, because this is very fine work, and you have to use thin brush, maybe number 1 or 0 or 00 also you can use. So you can see these paintings I have done on 140-150 GSM. The card is very lightweight. It's not, and the texture of the paper is very smooth. So to give these kind of details, I need smooth texture, not the heavy grainy texture. So this is how you can use these techniques, making different layers. See, similar way I have used here also. The color, I like making botanical artwork, so mostly my themes are more botanical. The paper is thin, so you can give these kind of details on your paper. Then we have this 200 GSM paper, which is a bit thicker and it is cold pressed, so it has some texture, more semi grainy surface. So we'll do the same technique, 3 techniques on this paper also, and you can see that what are the difference of using a thin 140 GSM paper and using a 200 or 300 GSM paper. So as you can see here, the texture of the paper is quite visible through the paint. You can actually see the grains, and so depending on the topic you want to paint, you can choose your papers. Now the second technique is wet on wet. Again, same way, I have taken clear water, a puddle of clear water I have spread in the shape of a leaf. So a lot of water is there because the paper is thick, so it will not seep through and it may not buckle up. So as you can see here, so I have just used a lot of water as my first layer, and then I'll add color to it. So you can see the dropping the paint, the color is spreading in its own way. So now this will, with this paper, because this is thick in quality, and when you are using more water, the color will spread in its own way and more nice texture will appear once it will get dried up. So this technique is very good whenever you are doing some big scenes where you have to show water or skies. added some yellow to it to give it a more natural leaf color of fall. So you can see the colors are just spreading in their own way in the puddle of water, and they will create their own texture. So after finishing your painting, wash your brushes properly with clean water and wipe them nicely with the towel, paper towel, or a napkin, cotton napkin, and keep them nicely to be used for next time. So with this I end up my video here only, and I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. I will come again with some new techniques of watercolor in my next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.